Abusha information yenya ekire say US deportation ya ekos enam so ama omokum Ghana fo mienu bi na eba ne sai akire say US fo akum Ghana fo mienu mepamcho yentie ensam no sede esitie e wo hase embra
Abusha police fo ashutu Ghana fo mienu akum e wa awre na ne yakofa asem ni ba ye nyina ene say police fo gina Ghana for no mo wakam eno ye se onfa ne papers emra enam deporting na e koso no entina police ni baako ene Ghana ni dia no drive car na kasa ena Ghana ni baako so etika nim police for na kasa na Ghana ni baako yi 2 hours starting so be shoot police for no ene police for no America o ma mfa nya akwadwero ehwa na pam emo ne tutuo Ghana for ne tutuo me bi kan police ni no Ghana ni no onu di ka open fire ema bi kan police ni no ti police for no akum Ghana fo mienu ni nyina na nchiremu ene hwehwemu kire se omo ya asantefo nti video no na me de atoso a uguso a wo hwe no na nso de atu hofo uni nkrata hyedem na Donald Trump na ni abre pa American ninja afi no aba me de one way ma immigrants video no ho kwase asem pa unu ya Ghana ni betima bedi waba America bibini police agina wo a udi kan ko open fire ukoyi tuo abato wakumo mienu nyina na mediwe fast wire warning dia magana ni macho anatima amufu amwo Ghana nyina amwo wo pump action ni tuo wo madam san kwase ade we bi na mo ye ya oboase omusane tuo gu mo so ho e ya America ha nko muku oboase fo ni nyina mo mani na ho 2025 mo mani na ho. The police is always right. Army is always right. Mwani na ho na American ninja de PM wa ha.
Abusha yes the entire yentimi and show video ni nyina ne say say video no de bibia ye clear a kire say Ghana fo yi or no say so mo ye Ghana fo ne enwa de ade what ase a wo hwe say the no masi call ya ene omo shutu omo shutu e ma who say yes omo shutu nipa desani Abusha yanto so e woni say ye na ye hunu de eye den e ko
wow one person will back heaven na Donald Trump de oya no nti ase wa trans ye hu se ni kuro no afai de nka mo de ne ko bonsam jemi un se kuro no emema na mo da na mo ho ma na mo di mutum sam fungu a be se papa ne ho keka na papa no ne ho tete no wo ho se wa anya bibia kuro ni sai e kuro ni sai swat ase akisa Ghana fo amale na mukabuko afai na kamusu be yebie no kwasiafo kabuba yebie mo se Donald Trump wono kura hu se ayan kwasiasem so makwan ma ekuro no eseye ni se dia ba kura de muketwa mo ye cartoon ni nyina be yimo afiri kuro no na kuro no mu omo pe heaven akọ
It has been designated now for expedited removal. This notice was published today in the Federal Register. Trump administration has expanded the authority of ICE or DHS officers to quickly deport large numbers of undocumented immigrants from the United States through a process known as expedited removal. Now, expedited removal is very different from deportation proceedings. With deportation proceedings, there's due process where you get something called an NTA, the form I-862. You are told to appear before an immigration judge at a date, a time, and place, and you have right to counsel, you have your right to your lawyer, and you can have your day in court. You are able to assert reliefs or defenses that are available to you to show why you should not be deported or removed from the United States. It's a process. Expedited removal, however, is a quick summary way of just removing people from the United States without a full immigration hearing before a judge. Now, expedited removal applies only to certain types of people. Only certain types of people are eligible for expedited removal. In order to be eligible, you must lack proper documentation, or you didn't have a visa or parole. You were not admitted or paroled into the United States, or you have committed fraud or you falsely claimed US citizenship, meaning you are inadmissible. All right. Now, if you are in the US and you've been here for less than 2 years and in addition to that, you lack proper documents or committed fraud or falsely claimed to be a US citizen, then you can be removed expeditiously. You can go through the process of expedited removal where the immigration officers can pick you up and then deport you. If you're a non-citizen and you fall within this new designation of having arrived less than 2 years and lacking proper entry documents, and you actually indicate that you intend to apply for asylum because you fear persecution or torture, or you fear being returned to your country, then you can tell the officer, and then they will have you have an interview, a credible fear interview before an asylum officer, and allow you to apply for asylum if the officer finds that you have a reasonable fear. But with the expedited removal process, you do not get a hearing before an immigration judge. It's typically DHS officers who will, if they, apprehend you or they catch you, they will, and they find that you entered the US unlawfully and you are not able to prove that you've had more than 2 years of residence in the US, then they can have you do biometrics and then they can quickly deport you to your country. With expedited removal, there's no appeal process also, right? So now, when it comes to deportation proceedings, the initial burden in court is on the government to prove alienage. However, when it comes to expedited removal, the burden is on the immigrant to show that, number one, he did not enter the US unlawfully. Number two, he has accrued more than 2 years of residency in the United States. If you are unable to show these things, then you will not have your day in court to challenge anything. You will just be bundled up. You go through the expedited removal process that can last a day or a few days, and you are back in your country. Okay, and so this new guidance that the DHS has been issued, where expedited removal has been expanded throughout the United States, and the timeline has also been expanded. If you have been here for less than 2 years, then you can be expeditiously removed. Now the burden is on you to show that you don't fall within the categories of immigrants that should be expedited. And so if you're a US citizen, then I believe that you would prefer to show evidence of this, like your US passport, rather than to have you detained. And the government does have a responsibility under the law to check to check in their database that you are a US citizen. But if you do have evidence of this, you are better off just showing it so that you don't.
Na empremprem die ewo US no we ene die etwegu a yenua bema American ninja nso wo boyemu die asi ye follow die be free ababia no ye de bebrem ewo ye platform yi eso enti subscribe for update na mefa wo ensi ahasi ye.